All right, who are some of Georgia's most underrated current commitments in the 2024 class? That's what this video is about. I got the idea because everyone knows how great Georgia's 2024 class is right now. I've said for months that it's going to be the #1 class in the country. I still feel that way, but there are plenty of guys on the commit list right now who, I'm looking at their ranking from the other outlets. I'm thinking, what are they saying that I'm not, right? I think there are multiple guys who are going to see their rankings improve over the next several months, and I think are bound for pretty big seasons compared to where they currently sit on Georgia's commit list. So lot to talk about, a lot of guys that I'm excited to talk about and share with you. We've got quotes from coaches, a lot of good stuff coming up in this video. But first, I want to plug the newsletter. We've got content coming left and right over on Dawg Post. The newsletter is free. It's in the link down below. It's free to sign up. You can read free stories every single day over on Dawg Post. We love doing these YouTube videos, but we want you to check out the website for us. Gives us an opportunity to, travel and see more guys. But the newsletter, big deal. The link is down below and it's free. So make sure you check that out. Really appreciate it. First guy I really want to talk about is a 3-star defensive lineman that they picked up. I think it was in June. It was right before I went on vacation, actually. Nabi Ogboko. He's the number 95 defensive lineman in the country, number 978 overall. Dude's barely in the top 1,000 recruits in the country. 6'4", 355 pounds. Kid's barely played football. I think that's a big reason why he's ranked where he is. He's still growing. The kid hasn't even scratched the surface of his potential whatsoever, but he is an anchor. This is a 0-3 technique interior defensive lineman with all the potential in the world. This kid is a blank canvas that, went on campus, earned an offer, and earned a spot in this class. And the Georgia staff, they said, yes, we want you and all the potential that you bring and all your size and your raw strength. We want that high ceiling on our roster. And he's the guy that they can transform into the prospect they need him to be. I spoke with South Garner defensive line coach Brian Yarbrough when he committed to Georgia, saying, hey, what is Georgia getting in this kid? He said, a high ceiling kid who is not afraid to work, a former basketball player with above average feet and lateral movement who's going to into just his second season of playing high school football, which is crazy. A natural visual learner who has a knack for picking up concepts easily. He was born an anchor with an extremely wide base and good striking ability in his hands. Has enough twitchiness in his hips to play from the 0 to the 3 technique for us, and was able to impress Coach Scott, who had no problem taking the tasks of developing his natural tools. This is an easy guy to put on the under the radar sleeper list because, again, dude's barely in the top 1,000 in the country, but I expect him to develop properly. Number 2 for me, this is not really in order, just how I have them. Ryan Piglesi, a quarterback. Everyone knows about Dylan Raiola. I get it, right? He's the big superstar, 5-star at Buford. High expectations. We're going to see him a lot this year. Looking forward to that, but Ryan Piglesi was a guy I was on very early. We had the scoop that he was going to be camping at Georgia and at Alabama last summer, and that he was probably going to leave with an offer, and that's exactly what happened. I put out exclusive clips, highlights of Ryan Piglesi that you're not going to watch or be able to see anywhere else other than this YouTube channel. He's the number 12 quarterback right now in the country, number 158 overall. I think he's better than that from everything I've heard, everything I've seen. Every time I hear he's down in Athens throwing the football, everyone leaves impressed. The ball does zip out of his hands. He can put touch on the ball like there was an accurate deep ball, but he's got a laser. The ball flies out of his hands. He's got size. In just 9 games last year as a junior, he threw, it was 63% completion percentage, just under 2,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, but he also ran for 14 touchdowns. His head coach at Avon Old Farms told me this. He's an elite thrower of the football, but he's becoming a great quarterback as well. He just throws the ball effortlessly and understands the game and what he needs to do. He knows how to be a quarterback, working to be the best leader he can be. He knows how to work, and he's developing as a quarterback, processing the information and seeing the big picture. He also runs a 4.8. He's a good athlete. Again, he's a draftable shortstop with a basketball background. He's had multiple 20 and 30 yard runs for us this year. I'm all in on Ryan Piglesi. He is going to impress a lot of people, and it's not like Dylan Raiola is going to come into Athens and win this job. He's going to have to beat out Ryan Piglesi, who's going to put up a real fight. But overall, he's got the size. He definitely has the arm talent. He's getting better, understanding the position. He's got the footwork. The kid can move. He can run. I really like Ryan Piglesi, so I think he is probably better than the number 12 quarterback prospect in the country, and he's definitely better than 158 overall in the country. Another guy, Marquis Easley, offensive tackle, another guy who committed to Georgia. I believe that was early June. 6'5", 345, and moves really, really well. This guy plays incredibly well in space. He's a promising pass protector at tackle, but you get him out pulling in the run game, he is a headhunter looking for a linebacker to just destroy at the second level. He's easy to run behind, and it's easy to see why Georgia wanted this kid on board. The way they run the football, they bring those tackles and guards around. There's a lot of movement going on the offensive line to create, openings, running lanes off the edge or even inside between the tackles. But this kid can move. And he's quick off the snap. He's got length. He's got strong hands. Spoke with one of his coaches up in Illinois before he committed to Georgia. Here's what he had to say. Marquis Easley is special because of what you mentioned with his size. What separates him from others I've seen is his ability to move at his frame and his willingness to learn. He's consistently the first person to ask legitimate questions and then take hard coaching for his betterment. He has done a great job responding to adversity during competition. Throughout his high school career, you can tell him one technical coaching point and he will immediately put it into action. This kid is big. He moves really well, still pretty raw, but when he starts to develop and learn and progress under Stacy Searles and that Georgia Bulldog offensive coaching staff, I think he has the potential to push these other big-time tackles they have brought in this class for playing time. I think he checks a lot of boxes, and right now he's the number 20 offensive tackle prospect in the country. I watch his film and I'm thinking, there's 19 kids doing it better than this kid right now. That's tough to imagine. He's number 258 overall. And again, I went back and watched this film multiple times before he committed to Georgia. After, it's hard for me to believe that there are 257 just overall players better than this kid. I love what he brings to the table at 345. He's only going to trim down and add more muscle and weight and continue to lose that fat. He's going to transform that body, and I think he has a very, very bright future. Moving on, Chauncey Bowens, one of Georgia's 2 running backs right now on board. He's the number 11 running back in the country, 168 overall. Solid, right? Middle of the road 4-star, but at 5'11", 215, dude runs a 10.8 in the 100 meter. He is straight lines speed fast, but he breaks a lot of tackles too. Again, 215, you got some muscle on him, right? He's got, he's got some weight on him, right? He can break a tackle. He's physical. He runs behind his pads. He gets yards after contact, and he can break tackles, with his arms and his legs. So yeah, he gets tough yards. He falls down at the end of runs, right? So he's got that part of his game. But, he's got track speed. Now, he doesn't necessarily have that wiggle, right? That shake, a little shake and bake, that agility, that shiftiness. It's there to an extent, but that's not his strong suit, right? Maybe that's why he's outside of the top 10 at running back in the country. But when I watch the film, I think this kid is explosive, and he does not run like he is 250 pounds. So he runs with a physical style, but in the open field, he's got breakaway speed. There are not a lot of guys who are going to be running him down. And again, you see that a lot with backs who are 175, 180. But at 215, you see this dude running away from everyone. If there's a hole to run through and he gets to second level, he can outrun a lot of defenders in the state of Florida, which we all know is one of the best, most talented states in the country. I think Chauncey Bowens is a little better than what his ranking currently indicates. Last, I want to talk about Sokovia White, 3-star wide receiver at Cass High School in North Georgia. He's ranked as the number 101 wide receiver in the country, number 639 in the country overall, 5'9", 175. I know the size kind of limits his ability to climb those rankings, but you talk about body control and ball skills and burst and acceleration. This kid has it. When he's got the ball in the open field, runs like a running back, but he knows how to leap and he knows how to contort his body and make a crazy catch and come down with it. I've seen him multiple times and he always flashes. He's easy to notice, even for a guy his size. And it's hard for me to accept that there are 100 wide receivers in the country better than this kid. He's got breakaway speed too, but he can win jump balls for a smaller receiver. He can go up and snag it and come back down. He's an excellent route runner. He can create separation on his own. He's great after the catch. He's got strong hands. He's reliable. You need to keep third down, keep fourth down. Kobe White's a guy you can throw to. He can line up in the slot. There's a lot that he brings to the table, and he's hungry. He is a hard-working, competitive kid. He knows where he's ranked. He knows that he's not, ranked where the other two current wide receivers on Georgia's commit list are, and he doesn't let that affect him. He said, I'm going to go out and just give it everything I have, work hard, and, I'm trying to earn some playing time. And he is tough. And again, he's got better hands than people realize. Crazy to me that there are 100 wide receivers ranked higher than this kid, but is what it is. I think he's one of the sleepers in Georgia's class. So those are 5 guys to keep an eye on as, Georgia continues to add these final pieces in the 24 class. It's loaded top to bottom. And a lot of these guys ranked towards the bottom of this class, I think, are better than what their ranking indicates. Guys, thanks for watching this video. As always, really appreciate it. Stay tuned to the next one coming up right now, and I will see you over on Dawg Post.